What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. and Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network. Today, we're talking the latest episode of WWE Photo Shoot, featuring none other than Ron Simmons, from today, June 19th, 2020. It's been a while since we last had an episode of Photo Shoot. Going back in my notes here, it was way back when in October with Kane, which was a great episode, too. But I believe this is kicking off Season 3 according to the WWE Network, so hopefully more episodes will soon follow. But the first picture we look at here is of Simmons beating Vader on WCW Main Event back in, I think, in October, or rather August, I believe, of 1992. For the WCW, of course, World Heavyweight Championship. He talked about how he always liked to push himself and being in there with equally stiff opponents, which is exactly what Vader was. He said that moment really... He always refers to that title match as a real moment in wrestling, talking about he was the first black man, how he was the first black man to win that world championship. He talked about how it was so fantastic working with Vader on such an occasion, and that was such a great joy to work with him as well. He talked about how it was a crowning moment for everyone who works hard, including himself and anyone else who ever idolized him. He talked about how he didn't really know the effect that winning the world championship that night would have, and how you can't really get a better compliment than hearing that you changed someone's life. Because again, Simmons winning the world championship at that point was a really big deal. And a lot of people know Simmons as the damn guy or whatever, or really as just Farouk, maybe in WWE. But he had a great career even well before he came to WWE, just simply as Ron Simmons. And it was in WCW that he became their first black world champion, which way back when in 92 was obviously, as you would expect, a very big deal. And he remembers that very fondly, as he should. We then see a picture of him, or rather not him, but just of Cactus Jack, a.k.a. Mick Foley. Calls him edgy in the sense that he was always willing to take a chance, and he has nothing but respect for Cactus Jack, working a ton with him in WCW, and that he always left everything he had on the mat. We then see a picture of Dusty Rhodes, who Ron Simmons says that it's hard to put what Dusty meant to him in his career into words, and that no one was better than connecting with fans than Dusty Rhodes, and he's forever grateful to Dusty for everything that he had done for his career and himself personally, kind of helping him kind of find his footing and really become successful over in WCW. We then see a picture of his football locker, which I think he was standing in front of in the picture. He said that's a picture that still leaves him speechless to this day, talking about how football was his first love, how it changed his life, and it really defined him at that point in time. We then see a picture of his debut outfit in WWE way back when in the mid to late 90s as Farouk. I believe that was the name that he came in as, wasn't it? And obviously he used that later on in the Nation of Domination and whatnot. But he said that he didn't choose the name, but he wanted to make it work and form an identity for himself and just get a response from the people, and he did. And he thought he did a good job with it. We see a picture of him with Sonny, who I think became a manager for him again early on in his career before the Nation of Domination stuff. He said it was a joy for him to work with her and how she always knew how to respond and relate with people, that she looked the part and was also very good on the mic. So she was a very integral part of his act early on in WWF. We then see a picture of the early incarnation of Nation of Domination, with Simmons talking about how it was such a great period of time in his career, how he loved doing that character, how it came natural to him. And although they were a heel group, what they stood for was commendable. So, it would never work today because they would obviously get over as baby faces in 5 seconds, especially with everything going on in the world right now, because they made a lot of awesome points, yet they were positioned as heels. But anyway, being a heel really allowed him to release some of the things that were kind of going through his mind at that point, and that were also going on in the world at that point as well, back in the late 90s. And he said that anyone could have been in the group, white, black, Puerto Rican, it didn't matter, because what they stood for was real, and it became real to him as well. He said it got real when he started getting letters from the Muslim community. That's what he said. And he kind of knew at that point, all right, I got to tone it down a little bit before it gets too real. But he had a lot of fun with that character. We then see the incarnation of Nation of Domination with The Rock, Farouk, Godfather, Mark Henry, and D'Lo Brown. And he said it was a good time for all of them. All, trying to find an identity for The Rock before that was kind of a struggle for WWE. But he found that identity in the Nation of Domination. He grasped that character, and who he was at that point is who he is today. He became who he is today, the performer, through that incarnation of Nation of Domination. And Farouk said, or Ron Simmons rather, whatever, he said that he was proud to have a hand in what he's become today. And that Rock, he praises Rock a lot, saying that he listened to a lot of the things that, he told him. He took all the advice, and how he's really proud that he came up with his own identity. And he was also very proud, Simmons that is, that everyone left that faction with their own identity after that and found success. In fact, of those 5 guys, 3 of them are currently in the Hall of Fame. Farouk, Godfather, and Mark Henry. I don't know if D'Lo Brown will ever be inducted. Clearly, obviously, Rock will be at some point. Hopefully, maybe D'Lo Brown. Probably not. But hey, if Godfather can go in, why not D'Lo? That's my logic. Anyway, we see a picture of APA, him and John Layfield. He said that he sees John Layfield as more as a brother than as a tag team partner. Loves the guy, and he says that, not a lot of people get the opportunity to work with someone that he's as comfortable with as John Layfield. They understood each other. They didn't really have to think what was going to go on in the ring, outside of the ring. They just worked so well together, and it really worked out for them both. And he said he was specifically happy for JBL, who went on to become WWE Champion after that, calling him a fantastic world champion. And he said that he wishes more people would get that opportunity to work with someone as awesome as John Layfield. And then he said JBL really filled a void for him growing up, I think, without either brothers or a family. He said something along those lines, but really not having a brother-like figure, and JBL really filled that void for him, which was cool. And he said that he's grateful to him for that, and that it was a joy working with him. We see a picture of APA doing their backstage drinking segments. He said that everyone wanted to be a part of it. Celebrities, we see LL Cool J, another woman who I'm not really familiar with who she was, or what, they never identified her, but she was a part of that same segment too backstage. He called it absolute fun. It always was a party, but it always turned into a brawl as well. It was a party with a purpose, he said. They show a shot of APA putting Teddy Long into the WWE Hall of Fame over WrestleMania 33 weekend 3 years ago. And they specifically show the shot of Teddy pretending to hurt his back while he was doing his entrance. But, all joking aside, he said that it was an honor for them to induct him into the Hall of Fame. It was very special to him, and that Teddy did it all in the business. He was a manager, he was a referee, he was a general manager, he was a comedy figure, so he deserved it. We see a great shot of Teddy dancing with Vince while Teddy's preparing to do his Hall of Fame speech, like during rehearsal or something. They're doing the dance, the Teddy Long's theme song. I need a fucking gif of that because it was absolutely amazing. Vince's dance moves there were much better than they were in that Stand Back music video decades ago. I need a gif of Teddy and Vince dancing that I can use whenever it's appropriate. Anyway, we see another picture of Simmons with Ric Flair, Sergeant Slaughter, and Dusty Rhodes of the 2006 Survivor Series pay-per-view. I completely forgot they were on the same elimination tag team. Facing the Spirit Squad. He said that goes all the way back to his Florida Championship Wrestling days when, he never really thought the idea of him ever stepping in the ring, sharing a ring with Flair, Dusty Rhodes, and Sergeant Slaughter would have never crossed his mind, and he's very fortunate to have been in that position. He talks about the damn catchphrase, the damn shirt, when he goes, damn! He talks about how, listen, if I knew that this catchphrase would get me so over and make me so beloved, I would have never taken as many bumps as I did, which he makes a great point there. The people love it. He has fun doing it. They show a lot of great shots of him doing it over the years, which is cool. He praises working with Santino Marella. Back in 2007, they show the segments of them like backstage. They went far with the word damn. Simmons would go like scram, and then Santino would say, oh, I want the ham, and all this other shit. And it was very entertaining. He said that Santino had a great character, but Santino was concerned at the time, Ron Simmons said, and I've never heard this before, with how he was being used, Santino was, about himself. So Simmons told him, listen, don't worry about it, because this character will take you farther than you would have ever imagined, than you can ever imagine, which it did. Santino went on to win multiple Intercontinental titles, the United States Championship Tag Team titles. The guy was very popular, and he got way more success doing that than he probably would have doing anything else. We then see a great picture to close it off of him with Vince McMahon at the 2012 Hall of Fame ceremony accepting the ring backstage. He said that he wants to take that picture home with him and that it never crossed his mind that he would be in the Hall of Fame someday. He called Vince a great man, says that Vince always makes time for him, and that he's very grateful to Vince for the opportunities that he presented himself with, that he presented Ron with. And you can't get much better than that. He also talks about being put into multiple Hall of Fame ceremonies, or rather multiple Hall of Fames over the years. but this one kind of takes the cake as probably being the most special. But that does it for this photo shoot episode with Ron Simmons. Very good stuff as always. Again, it's a lot of old school stuff. A lot of people may see this and think, oh, it's not The Miz or whoever. Like, they've had Charlotte on before. They've had Kane, which was a great episode. Not a lesser known figure, but someone that may not be as popular as the current stars. But I appreciate this type of thing. It's really cool to hear from some of the legends, hear back on their careers. A lot of great moments in the career of Ron Simmons and WCW, WWE, Hall of Fame, and beyond. So I'm really glad they covered all the major points. APA, the damn stuff, winning the world title, working with Dusty, Santino, Vince, all this other stuff. So Nation of Domination, of course. So check it out. It clocks in at around 25 minutes, but it flies by very quickly. So check it out right now on the WWE Network Photo Shoot, WWE Photo Shoot with Ron Simmons. Of course, thank you guys, as always, for checking out the video. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Check in the description box down below for more WWE Network and Chill videos, photo shoot reviews, etc. And we should be back tomorrow with my audio review of tonight's SmackDown episode, so stay tuned for that right here on the channel tomorrow. Until then, guys, have a great weekend. Happy 619 Day, by the way. Booyaka, booyaka, for all the Rey Mysterio fans out there, including myself. Have a great one, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.